Hello fellow beaders, it's JP, and this week I have a new tutorial for you. I'm calling it my triple daisies, and it is daisy chain bracelet, slightly modified daisy chain bracelet, and I did a little, basically a 3-row bracelet using a sliding clasp to make the bracelet. You need about, this is about 6-inch bracelet, and all you need are seed beads. That is it. You need 11/0 seed beads, or you can use 8s. If you use 11s, you're going to need to make about 5 of these to get an inch of 1 inch for the bracelet, and so you can figure out how many units you need to do. So for a 6-inch, you need about 30, and so forth. Anyway. So let's talk about the seed beads that you need. So I used 6 different colors, well 7 if you count the center bead is my galvanized silver. So you of course can do any kind of color combination you want. You don't have to use 7 like I did. You can just do 1 or 2. All right, so let's start over here. This color is Miyuki, and it is opaque matte dyed turquoise. And I'll have all of this in the description box below, so you'll have the colors. This next color is Toho Opaque Pink Marbled is that color. This is also Toho, and that is Opaque Dandelion Luster. And then this coral looking color is Miyuki, and it is Opaque Light Watermelon. That's that one. This one is Toho, and that is Ceylon Pink. The white is Opaque White Luster. And of course this is a check bead, so this one's a check. But you know, Miyuki and Toho both make that color, so that's a pretty common color. And then this is also Miyuki, and that's Duracoat Galvanized Silver. So those are my 7 colors, and so you just need some fireline. I am using the 6-pound fireline. I used the clear crystal one and a size 10 beading needle, or you could use a 12 because you will be going through the beads quite a bit. Then you'll need about some jump rings for the clasp, depending on what you use. And that's it. So this should be a lot of fun to make up as you're watching TV or listening to some music. Let's get started. Okay, so to start, what you're going to do is pick up 6 11/0 beads. And so it doesn't matter, just depends on whatever your color is going to be. So just pick 6 and then go back through the beads to make a little ring. So you should get something like this, and what I do is I usually just like to go through a couple of them, and that helps tighten up the ring, and you end up with this. So it looks a little wobbly, that's okay, don't worry about that just yet. And what I'm going to do is just go through a couple more here. Like so, and then I'm going to pick up 7 of my silver beads. So this is what I'm going to do to make the clasp loop, and so I'm using my galvanized silver, but you can, you know, it doesn't matter, you can use whatever color you're going to use. That's 5, 6, and 7, and you're just going to go back around the 1 11/0. So, and it should give you a cute little circle like that. And I'm just gonna flip it and then just go through the beads again. So you can do this a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. So, and this gives me a nice wide enough circle that I can get a jump ring through, and then I can add the clasp. And So that's what you get. And then what I'm going to do now is pick up another one. So I'm doing the daisy chain a little bit differently here. So this is what the difference is. So I'm going to pick up an 11 and I'm going to come out of an 11 that's directly opposite. So here's where I'm at, and I'm going to go through this 11 over here. And so I'm going to push this 11 in my silver one here into the center, and then just tighten the thread. And it doesn't want to pop in. That's okay. Just give it a second. And then what I do is actually go back through the silver bead here, the silver 11-0. And I go back through the seed bead where we started. So, and I'm going in from the opposite direction. So the thread originally was coming out from the top, and then I picked up that 11 and then went around into the blue 11. And then now going back in, I'm going in from the bottom. And basically what you're doing is you're making a whole loop through all three of those beads. And what I liked about doing it this way is that it just made, it helped the 11-0 sit kind of right on top of the little daisy, and it just looks really cute this way. So just, so that's my little technique in changing up my little daisy chain. Now what you're gonna do is you wanna come back out of this 11-0 here, and then we build the next chain from there. So all I'm going to do is just continue over, and what I might do is do one quick little reinforcement here, so that gives it a third reinforcement into my loop. Just tightening things up there. So there, I'm going into the last of the two 11s, the silver ones. And now through the blue 11, where this is all connected. Just like so. And then I just gotta, again, make my way to this 11 right there. So I'm just gonna flip it to the back for a second, just because it's easier on my wrist. Go through the two. And through the one that I need to be in. And there we are. So doesn't that just look really, really cute? Now for the next part, you pick up one for the next color that you're gonna do. Go ahead and pick that up, and then you're gonna do basically a ladder stitch here. So just go back through the same blue 11 that the thread is exiting, just like so, and then back up into the new color. Like so, and I do it one more time just to give it a little extra reinforcement. And then back up into the blue, or into the purple in my case here. And let me get this tail thread out of the way, because that's getting in the way. So I will trim that in a second off camera here, but let's just keep going. And then you're gonna pick up 5, because each of your little daisies is 6 beads, so you wanna pick up 5 more. So I'm just picking up my 5, my little lilac color here, purple lilac. So I've got my 5. And then go back through just the lilac color. So just like that. And you want to keep the tension fairly tight as you're working this, because otherwise you'll have thread showing and the beads will be too loose. So, and now all I'm doing is reinforcing. So I'm going through all of the beads. And back to where we started. So to the lilac that is attached to the blue. now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to put in the center bead. And so you take the center bead. So now notice, okay, so just to make sure you understand this, the thread is coming up. And so you want to go to the opposite side and have the thread go down. Going to go down to the opposite bead there. Push this into the center. And there, it's not cooperating. Okay, just like that. Go back through the silver bead. And then back up through the lilac. So the thread was coming up, so that's the direction I want to go in, and that makes my loop. Just like that. And apologies, I should have cut this out. It keeps getting in the way. And there is daisy number 2 all added. So you're just repeating this now over and over again. So we're going to come out to this daisy, or this little seed bead here, and add the next one in the group. So I'm just going to turn it over. So I just need to go through 2 and then 1 more to get into position where I need to be. Like so. I'm going to pick up my next color, and you don't actually have to use multiple colors. You can just use the same seed bead for the whole thing. It's up to you. So pick up one, go back through, just like that, come up into it, and then back around one more time just to reinforce. And then back up. And now you pick up 5 of this new color. So there's the 5 of my color, and I'm just going to go back through my bead here. And I'm going to reinforce, so I'm going to go through all the beads and reinforce my little circle. So there we are. Okay, now pick up my center bead. So in my case, it's the silver. Note again, the thread is coming up. So you're going to go to the bead that's directly opposite and go down. So I'm just going to push that into the center, just like that. Go back through the silver bead again. And then back up to that bead where we started, and there you go. So really simple, easy to do. Now just flip it around and make your way back to the bead at the opposite side, and this will be getting you in position to add the next one. And there you go. Don't they just look cute little daisies? So I think this is a fun little summertime design. Well, keep going until you get to the desired length. Just keep adding them. Okay, so here it is. Here's the bracelet as I continued adding more of my little daisies. So I think it turned out really cute so far. So I started with the blue, so I decided to keep going and end with the blue. And that is totally up to you, however you want to set up your pattern. So I just wanted to show you how to add the clasp loop to this. So I'm I've added my silver center bead and I'm coming out of the blue bead. So I'm gonna make my way to the opposite bead once again. So there I am, and I'm gonna pick up 7 of my 11O beads. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's my 7. I'm just gonna go around the 1 bead. And then reinforce. Once. Okay, so that's once, and I'm gonna do it one more time. And I just gotta come out, go through the last of the silver there in the group, and then out of the blue. Okay, so I'm coming out of the blue there. And now to add the second row. So what I'm gonna do is continue and go over into the next 2 of those blue beads. And I'm actually gonna go backwards in colors. I wanted to stagger the colors, and my white's way over here, probably off camera that you can't even see it. So I'm gonna shift that over. There's the white. So I'm gonna go white and then pink and yellow. So I'm gonna stagger the colors a little bit. And of course you don't have to do it that way. It's just, I thought it looked really cute that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this time we're gonna connect with 2 of the beads. So pick up 2 of the whites and then go back through those 2 blues. And again, you're doing the same thing as before, doing like a little ladder stitch. Go around. Just like so. Come out of the white beads. And this time, since we already have 2, you only need to pick up 4 to make our little daisy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back around the white beads and of course reinforce. So go through all the beads one more time. There you are. And then what you're going to do is, because as in this case I connected the daisy, the little center beads with the 2 on the sides there, that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to come out of this one. And make sure your thread doesn't get trapped, which I'm just going to leave. All right, so what we're going to do is, first thing is we'll need another clasp loop. So we'll do it again, the 7. It's 4, 5, 6, and 7 again. And so I'm coming out of that bead, so I'm just gonna go back out of the white bead here. And make the loop, and then of course reinforce it. And got another wraparound. So that's once. I'm going to reinforce one more time. Okay, so I've done all the reinforcing. And now I'm going to add my center bead. So, and again, you're doing the same thing. Nothing's different. The only thing we did was we attached a little differently. So pick up one of your center beads and note that the thread is going towards the left. So I am going to go towards the right here as I connect. And just push it towards the center and then back through the silver bead and then back through the white. And it was going towards the left, as I said earlier, so let me make sure I'm in the right direction. So you actually want to go in the opposite direction and go towards, it's going towards the left. I'm going towards the right now to make sure that I'm getting that nice loop formation. Because if you don't go, make sure it's like a loop, the bead will actually not sit properly and it'll pop up. So now we'll connect. And again, I'm going to now come out of this opposite bead. So this time I'm going to go ahead and pick up the pink as the next color that goes in. So we're going to stagger it, and I'm going to go ahead and add more thread. So to add thread, all I'm going to do is just tie a 1/2 inch knot. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go over a couple of beads to do that. And there's my little 1/2 inch knot, and just going to tighten that up. My thread's gotten pretty short, but I was trying to get as much done before I have to add new thread. And then I'm just going to go through the bead here. And part of the reason I did this was just so that way the knot's kind of out of the way when we add the next thread, and also adding the next set of daisies. Okay, so I just did the one. You can do, if you have more thread, you can do longer, but since the thread's so short, I think I'll be fine with just the one, because you know, you go around quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add new thread. So all I'm going to do is just start here and just tie a couple 1/2 inch knots between the seed beads, and then I want to exit. I want to make sure the thread comes out of that bead. Okay, so to add the thread, what I've done is I'm just coming up, I just went through this bead. This is a stop bead that I'm just going to leave temporarily, just as until I get my knots made. So that's a good little trick, is when you're adding thread, to add a stop bead and make the 1/2 inch knots, and then you can just take off the stop bead. Really simple. So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch knot here between the two whites, right there. So, and then just go through the bead here. And that should pull the knot into the beads here. And then you're going to come out of this one here. And it's good to just test. What I'll do is take off the 1/2 inch knot, or the stop bead, and then just give it a tug to make sure, because I'm only doing the one knot. But since we go around the beads so many times, I'm not too concerned about doing multiple half-inch knots. So now I'm in position to go ahead and start building the bracelet to continue adding. So the next color is going to be pink. So pink, I'm going to ship some beads over. So pick up one bead. So in this case, we're still doing the ladder stitch with just the one bead. We're going to connect the daisy. So the daisies get connected in two places for the second row. So they get connected here to this one, and they're also going to get connected to this daisy over here. So, and then back through the pink. And then through the white. And we're going to exit out of the pink. And then now pick up five daisy pink beads, not 4, because we only have 1. So go ahead and pick up 5. Go through the pink bead and then reinforce. Okay, pick up the silver or whatever center bead your color you have, and then go. So notice the thread is going down. I'm going to go up on the opposite side. Push that to the center. Go through it. And then go down. So we were going up, so we're going to go down. And make sure you can see what I'm doing there. Down through the pink. Okay, so now we have one extra little step that we're going to do. So you're going to make your way down to these 2 pink beads, because we got to connect the 2 pink to the 2 white over here, just like we did here. So go through those 2 and the one here. Okay, now these 2. Okay, so to connect them, again, it's just ladder stitch. So we're coming out of those 2. I'm going to go up into these 2 here. And then down these 2. And back up, so just doing a little reinforcing, and just make sure you tighten that up. And then into these 2 pink ones, that is. Okay, so now I just got to follow the thread path. So all I'm going to do is come out of this 11 right there, and then the next color will be yellow. So as you can see, I'm going to do a little stagger, and I think it's going to look really cute. Okay, and through these. Oops, there we go. And now I'm in position when I come out of this bead here. And again, I'm going to grab a yellow. So I'm going to show this one more time and then let you continue on your own. So go ahead and grab the next color, pick up one, and again, you're going to do simple ladder stitch. So essentially what we've done here is basically combine two stitches. So we combined daisy stitch and ladder stitch. And then back, reinforce through the pink. And back through the yellow. I'm gonna pick up 5 of my yellows, and I've scattered my beads here. So you can get that in here. I don't know why it takes me so long to pick up beads, so sorry about that. It is, okay, I got 5. Go back through, just the yellow by itself. Reinforce. This is just a great project to work on while you're watching TV. I like to listen to audiobooks while I do this, so that's also fun. Or just listen to music, you know, and just work away at it. And you only need seed beads. So, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, or maybe I did, you can use this with 8/0s too. So I think it'll look just as cute if you use 8s instead of 11s. And if you feel really daring, you can do it with 15s. That'll take quite a bit of work. So here is my center. So I'm coming out of that bead, going down. So I'm going to go up to get across. Go through the center. The silver bead in the center, and then we go back and we're going to go down just like and there we have it. Now we're going to connect the pink and the yellow daisies together. I think that looks really cute. I hope you guys like this one. I don't know, I just had a lot of fun. I really like this one. I had a lot of fun with it, and I keep thinking of all the different combinations I can make. Could do one with just white or just pink, or I don't know. I might just make, also you can also stop. You don't have to do the second row if I didn't mention that already. And just, you know, this is a complete bracelet on its own, just if you don't make these, and that's a complete bracelet. Then you just add your clasp and it comes out really cute and dainty. Anyway, we're in position. So I have made my way over to these 2 yellows. So I'm going to go up into the pinks here. And then down the yellow, back up the pink, back down the yellows, and then follow the thread path, and you got to make your way to this yellow bead right there. And the next color will be this sort of coral color. Okay, just keep going and keep building your bracelet. And I'm going to build this row, and then I'll show you the start of the 3rd row, and we should have our bracelet complete then. Okay, so here we are. I have completed 2 rows, and there's my bracelet. I think is looking quite lovely. I am actually going to add a 3rd row. And again, you can stop right here and be done with just 2 rows. That is totally up to you. So I need to add another loop over here, and in order to do that, I'm going to once again pick up 7 of my silver beads, 6 and 7, just go back around the bead where the thread is coming out. So and I'm just going to go around. So here's once, and then I'll go 2 more times to reinforce my loop to make sure it's nice and sturdy. And I'm trying to go through as many beads as I can. So I've got my 4. And in the next 3, and then of the silver, and then back through the white. Okay, that is 2. Now to do number 3. Okay, so now I'm in position. I'm coming out of the white bead, and whoops, let me, sorry, off camera there. Make sure I'm like in focus. So I'm coming out of that white bead. I'm just gonna come back around and come over to this one, or those 2, so that we can start adding row number 3. And essentially you're going to be doing the same exact thing you've been doing. So the first one's a little bit different, but the rest are the same as okay, so here we are. So here I am, and so the next color I'm going to do is pink, and then of course it'll be white, blue, and we'll be starting our pattern again. So go ahead and pick up 2 pinks in this case. There's my 2. And we're going to do our ladder stitch. So I'm going to go back around just the 2 white beads here. Down 2 of the pink beads, back up the white beads. And again, back around to the pink. All right, since we already got 2 of the pink, I'm going to pick up 4 pinks here. And of course, why do I have so much trouble picking those up? Silly me. There we go. Got my 4. I'm going to go back around just the 2 pink beads. And there's our little circle of 6. Go ahead and reinforce that. And then go ahead and go over 1 bead so that we are in position to add in the center beads. So I'm going to pick up my silver, which is my center bead. So this is going from right to left. So I'm going to go left to right here. Pull it tight to make sure it gets centered. Go back through it. And once again, go from right to left so you're making the loop that you need to make. All right, so there is our third color. So there's the third color. Now we just need to add the third loop. And so we're gonna make our way over to this bead. So all we have to do is go over 3 of the pink beads to get in position to add the third loop. And once again, it's going to be 7 beads. It's only 6 and there's 7. Okay. So go back around the pink. So and then reinforce, of course. So and one more time, reinforce. Okay, it's time to come out of that pink. All right, so the loop has been made, and now we just need to come out of this pink bead here to get into position to add the next flower, next daisy. All right, and to continue following my pattern, I am just going to go ahead and pick up my white here, do my ladder stitch. Then it's reinforcing, just going through the beads one more time. And one, now I'm out of the white. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up 5 more. There's 5 more, go around all of them, and again, reinforce. Okay, we are reinforced, so now it's time to pick up my center bead. So again, I'm going to grab a silver here. Okay, so in this case, the thread is going down. I'm going to go to the opposite bead and go up. Push that towards the center, like so. Go back through the center bead, the silver for me. And then back down this bead to make sure it's in a full loop. Now go ahead and go up into the 2 white, because we got to connect the white and the blue beads together to connect our 2 daisies together. So we're just going to connect these 2 together, and all you got to do is go down the 2 blue beads, then up into the white, nice tight tension, and through the blue again, and back up the white, and then over 1 bead, 1 of the white beads, and now we're in position to add the next color. So all you're going to do is keep repeating the pattern, and so the next color over is going to be the blue, and so forth, and that's row 3. So you're just repeating again. All right, here's the bracelet. I think it came out really cute, and I used a 3-ring sliding clasp. You can use, 3 lobster claw clasp, whatever works for you, whatever you have should work. And I hope you like the tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.